In the beginning was the camera, a media literacy and research methodologies class, and one petrified graduate student, newly enrolled in the EMDT master's program at Full Sail University. This first experience helped me identify what the feelings my students might have when we begin learning new material. I always encourage them to ask questions, so that's where my journey began, asking some important questions. The assignments in training and motivational development gave me the chance to evaluate my effectiveness as a presenter and see what I do through the lens eye of my students. On some levels I was effective, but not to the extent I wanted to be, which brought me to my next question. How can I engage my students more effectively? I wonder what would happen if I used technology to engage my students and improve learning. This became my action research problem. In my classroom, we use small group activities, handmade charts, and as you scan the room, you'll see lots of great instruments and also lots of visual stimulus on every wall, all with some sort of educational purpose or message. At the same time, you can see how our learning space is challenged with the keyboard lab. The more instruments I add to give everyone the chance to be involved, the less space, and the harder it's become to keep all of the students engaged. That affects the whole learning process. Because we only meet once per week, it's crucial that we make the most of every minute we have. We needed a change that would present the same material in a new and exciting way to keep the students involved and moving forward. My research supported my findings. The bottom line for any instruction is finding the most effective connections to the students that will make the content relevant and meaningful. I began researching peer-reviewed articles that would support my topic. One of the most common threads was that in this digital age, it becomes important to find ways to blend traditional methods of presentation with technology and media that engages students and meets them where they are to enhance and improve learning. We created action research blogs every month. We responded to various prompts and reflected how our current class would contribute to our overall project. Since I began this program with a clean slate other than knowing how to power on the computer, every class made an important contribution to my overall project. The blog proved to be a valuable tool for reflection and feedback. My target group for the project was the 4 second grade classes that come to music one time per week for 50 minutes. It's important that they know the skills that are a part of these learning activities before moving on to 3rd grade. In Cycle 1, they completed a pre- and post-test to determine their previous knowledge and learning gains. The students in the 2 classes that received all traditional instruction scored in the 82 to 85% range, while the 2 classes that received technology instruction scored in the 90 to 95% range. In Cycle 2, all 4 classes had the opportunity to work with various technology-driven activities, and the student response was incredible. During Cycle 2, we employed some of the strategies from the gaming class, and we used several online games to learn about pitch and composition during the first 2 weeks of the cycle. During week 3 of Cycle 2, the students used a tutorial that I created using skills from our filmmaking course to be introduced to the pentatonic scale. They composed melodies to share with the class, and they could either work with a study buddy or independently. Because I feel that reflection is an important evaluation tool, I used this technique with the students to reflect on the events of Cycle 2. The responses were all positive except they wanted more time and they didn't want to leave at the end of the class. Overall, I'm pleased with the results of my research. I knew going into it that I could build proof for the premise that technology would indeed enhance and improve learning in my music classroom. I know that I've only scratched the surface, but I know that as a result of investing so much of my life over the last year into this degree program, I'll be motivated to put it to good use.
Greetings. Welcome to Musical Masterminds. I'm your host, Professor Mozart. In this game, your musical expertise will be challenged on things like musical symbols, famous composers, musical periods, musical instruments, and musical styles or genres. You will have the opportunity to level up each time you successfully complete one of the categories. If you miss something, you can just try again. Have fun. I hope to see you in the Genius level soon.